Welcome to Madrid Reviews. This is your host, Christian Madrid, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about a classic, Blue Velvet. Let's get to it, yo. Alright, y'all, so let's get into this. So for this week's retro, classic movie review, I am going to be reviewing Blue Velvet, in honor of the late and great David Lynch, who passed away a few days ago. I want to say last Thursday, January 16th, whatever day that was last week. I believe it was last Thursday. But anyways, R.I.P. David Lynch. He was one of the greatest directors of all time to ever do it. One of my personal favorites. In my top 10 for sure. He's directed so many great movies. Mulholland Drive, Elephant Man, Eraserhead, Lost Highway, Wild at Heart. And today's topic, my personal favorite of his, Blue Velvet. Blue Velvet is a masterpiece and one of the greatest movies I've ever seen and one of my personal favorites. This is my favorite David Lynch film, as he did such a spectacular job directing this film, as it's different, weird, unusual, and very creative than what has come before and what has come since. David Lynch has a style that no one can replicate, and I think this film best utilizes his surreal style. And he's directed so many great films, and Blue Velvet is his magnum opus. The writing is so good in this film because the story is so fucking bizarre. And it's very unique. It follows a guy who, finds out, the nice suburban small town ain't so nice. It's got a very dark side to it once he, finds a missing ear in the field. And then he's not even a cop, but he finds himself drawn to investigate, and then he finds, he runs into, obviously, Frank Booth and then this girl singer, nightclub singer, Dorothy, and, he finds out more, he's more in this dark fucking circle, that he finds himself in. And I won't spoil it for some of you who have not seen the movie, but it's a great and interesting story, and it goes to dark places, believe me. It won't work for everyone, this story. It's very weird, it's very sexual, but the way the movie uses sex is so traumatizing and so weird, very uncomfortable. Do not watch with your parents whatsoever, because this movie has some of the most uncomfortable scenes ever, but I think it's necessary to tell to tell the story and the point this movie is trying to make. It's themes of like generational trauma and abuse, and like fucking psychology and all that, and how it can make someone like Frank Booth in this movie so sick and twisted. So this movie really takes you to a dark place and explores these very deep themes. The dialogue is very good in this film, as it's used to move the story forward, with the conversations between Jeffrey and, that white girl played by Laura Dern. I forgot her character's name. But yeah, so it's used to enhance the story and to let the audience know like what they found in their investigation as they're, trying to see deeper and deeper into this. Especially the dialogue given to Frank Booth, it's so good and menacing, and it makes his character even more disturbing because almost every fucking word out of his mouth is fuck. Because I looked it up, all the F words in this movie is said by Dennis Hopper's Frank Booth, 56 of them. The acting is terrific in this film, as Kyle MacLachlan, Twin Peaks' own, Isabel Rossellini, and Laura Dern give amazing performances, but the standout performance in this film is given by Dennis Hopper as Frank Booth. This is one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. He's so unhinged, so disturbing in this movie. He's fearless in this film. The acting is fearless. He fully commits to this dark and sadistic character, and it fully pays off. He should have won a fucking Oscar for this, Dennis Hopper. I don't know why the fuck he didn't. The cinematography is terrific in this film, as the way this movie is shot is so dreamy and bright in the beginning, but then as the movie progresses towards the end, it looks very dark and gloomy to really represent the world, of this film, in a really good way, as it progresses and how it goes even darker and darker as the movie progresses. The production design is terrific in this film, as it's got very nice suburban set pieces that makes it feel like the movie's taking place in my own town, because I live in a small town myself. It kind of feels like that. It could really take place in any town, The editing is great in this film, as each scene, smoothly transitions together to the other. It's very well paced, it's got a perfect runtime, and it's actually 2 hours long, 2 hours long, You know, it says all it needs to say. It doesn't overstay its welcome like a lot of movies these days. The score and soundtrack in this film is very good and unique. It adds to that dreamy and surreal film. Some standouts from the soundtrack. Of course, the movie begins with Blue Velvet. Sets the tone in this movie. It's so haunting the way it's utilized and used in this film. And, you know, and later in the film, you know, Roy Orbison's classic song "In Dreams" is played. It's very well used, very well utilized as well in this fucking movie. You know, both of these songs, you know, really, you know, some of the lyrics can describe, Frank Booth, basically his character, and it's very unique how they're used, very well used. Overall, Blue Velvet is one of my favorite movies. It may not be everyone's cup of tea. I totally understand that. You know, it's definitely not for everyone. But if you're looking for something different and something special, then I highly recommend Blue Velvet. So check it out. You know, if you don't do it for me, do it for my boy David Lynch. R.I.P. Rest in peace, David Lynch, to one of the greats out there. Definitely give this movie A plus. You know, we eating very good. 5-course meal type shit. You know, best restaurant. You know, best kind of food while watching this movie. It's one of the greatest movies of all time, Blue Velvet. One of my personal favorites for sure. Alright, y'all, so that is the end of the video. Don't forget to hit that like button. Comment on what do you have seen this movie. Have you seen Blue Velvet? Let me know what you think about it if you've seen it. You know, what is your favorite David Lynch movie? I want to know that too. May he rest in peace. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and alerts to know when I drop a new review. Appreciate you for watching. See you on the next one. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night. Whatever time you are watching this. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch me do another movie review. Appreciate it. Peace. I'm out.